Hey loves! Welcome back to my channel. This is Sassy Love Tarot. Today I am back with another pick a card reading where we'll be checking with Spirit what you could do in this current situation to overcome a challenge or a difficulty that you're facing and change the situation for the better. So my intention for this reading is to just get some really straightforward, non-BS, actionable advice for those of you who might be going through certain challenges or difficult periods of time in your life currently. And in terms of what we're going to cover in this reading, we'll first be diving in with tarot along with some pre-shuffled oracle cards to figure out exactly what course of actions you can take. And then we're going to be finding out what results you can expect from your actions. And after that, I'll also be checking with Spirit to see why exactly this particular challenge or difficulty is present in your life, if there's anything that you're meant to learn from the situation. And last but not least, we're going to finish off the reading with some really warm and fuzzy words of encouragement from your spiritual teams. So if that all sounded good to you, let's get through to each of your options. Option number 1 here corresponds to the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot, along with this bottle of Black Obsidian. Option number 2 here corresponds to the Star Spinner Tarot, along with this bottle of Amethyst. Option number 3 here corresponds to the Modern Witch Tarot, along with this bottle of Blue Apatite. Now, as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. And please, if you do feel drawn to multiple groups or even all of the groups, feel free to follow your intuition because it always leads you to the right place. Once you have chosen your group or your groups, you can then scroll down to the description box to find the corresponding timestamps to your readings and be fast forwarded to start listening to your readings. Now, let's get right into it. Hey loves, if you have chosen the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot along with this bottle of Black Obsidian, then this is going to be a reading for you. Welcome. Let me make sure your crystal is visible. Okay. So, as I mentioned in the intro, we're gonna dive right in to see what course of actions can you take to overcome this current challenge or difficulty that you're facing and change your situation for the better. So I'm just gonna dive right in with your tarot deck. And then I'll be using some pre-shuffled oracle cards to clarify the tarot cards we get. So we've got the Queen of Wands coming out in the reverse position. What course of action can my group number ones take to overcome this current challenge or difficulty that they're facing and change their situations for the better, please, Spirit? What can they do? Oops. We got two cards coming out together, so I'm just gonna keep them together as this as one energy. We have the Seven of Wands in reverse and the Eight of Swords in reverse. Okay, let's get one more. What course of action? Okay. Oh, we got another two cards coming out together. Well, I guess we'll keep them together as well. There we have the Knight of Pentacles coming out in the upright and the Strength coming up in the upright. Very beautiful energies. Okay, so as always, I'm just gonna be naming all the signs that I'm seeing with the cards here. You can take that as an actual layer of confirmations if needed. If you do not necessarily have those signs or placements, it doesn't really matter. The reading could still resonate. So with the Strength card here, we are having some Leo energy, some fiery energy. Hello to my fellow Leos. If you're watching this pile, welcome. And with the Queen of Wands here, there is some more fire energy. I believe the Queen of Wands, I don't usually necessarily associate the Queen of Wands with one specific fire sign. So Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, you could possibly be one of those 3 signs or have those placements. Doesn't necessarily have to, but again, it's an extra layer of confirmations for those of us who need it. Let's see what else. For the 7 of Wands, I believe that is more Leo energy. I'm pretty sure. And then the 8 of Swords, I believe that would be Gemini. And the 9 of Pentacles would be Virgo. So those are all of the signs that I am seeing here. In case you do resonate with those signs, then this reading might be for you. Let's keep going. Now I'm just gonna quickly lay out the oracle cards that I have pre-shuffled for your group. Now we have Strut with Am I Carrying Myself with Love? So the bird here is a killdeer, clarifying the Queen of Wands in reverse. And then we have Pride with I love myself and I see myself in everyone, clarifying the 7 of Wands in reverse and the 8 of Swords in reverse. And last but not least, so we actually got 2 cards from this deck, even though my intention was to get 1. We've got Surrender to Play, take a break from overthinking a goal, do something fun. Play is a time for recreation and rejuvenation. And we have Surrender Your Desire to Control People. Being over-controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. Okay, cool. The first thing that's really standing out to me is the fact that we've got the color yellow on all of these oracle cards. So the color yellow reminds me of our solar plexus chakra, and that has a lot to do with our self-confidence. And I do think that a lot of you might be struggling with, so you might be struggling with one of 2 things. One is that you might be a little bit prideful in something that you're dealing with. This could be in your career where you feel like you already know best and you're like not willing to take other people's help. Or it could be in a relationship where, say, there's some sort of disagreement and you're not willing to be the one to back down first from that argument. There is like a prideful energy, or it could be that you are experiencing some form of low esteem. Well, essentially, even when we are acting with arrogance, I'm not saying that you are, it's just that I do feel like when people are acting with almost like an aloof or haughty attitude, that is still essentially stemming from low esteem. It's literally coming from the same place as feeling inferior. Even though the actions might be prideful, the underlying emotion that you're having essentially is pointing to the fact that you feel like in some way, shape, or form, you are inferior and you have to prove yourself. Because when a person is fully confident, when a person is fully comfortable with who they are and what they have, they are okay with acting in a very humble way. And they do not have any sort of attitude because they don't need that. They don't need to prove themselves to anybody. They're already very comfortable in their own skin. And I don't want to assume what your challenge is, because again, this reading is all about getting the most straightforward, actionable, and non-BS advice for you. So I would say that with this, am I carrying myself with love, clarifying the Queen of Wands in reverse, you are being reminded to walk down the path with confidence. So, and you want to make sure that the way you're acting, like when you're taking actions, you want to make sure that those actions are originated from a very loving place instead of an insecure or a prideful place. So it doesn't really matter what exactly it is that you are experiencing. What really matters here for you to change the situation for the better, because that's our intention for this reading. What really matters here is for you to carry yourselves with love. And with this strut, it seems to me that you're being called to really shine your light, to go out there and making sure that you are sharing that love with other people. But at the same time, with the Queen of Wands being reversed as an advice, I do feel like you also might need to protect your energies from certain people that are not serving you, like protecting your energies from in certain situations where you might potentially be taken advantage of. Because the Queen of Wands is always reminding me of someone who's very generous with their energies, with their time, who's very radiant and not afraid of shining their light in front of other people. But sometimes it is possible that by doing that, you could be hurt by people who are not comfortable with you, quote unquote, outshining them. So it is very important for you to carry yourself with confidence, with love in this particular situation that you're asking about. And really, I do feel like with this Queen of Wands here, you already have the necessary resources within you. You already have that sense of confidence, that sense of purpose within you. It's just that maybe in the recent past, you haven't really connected with yourself to let those qualities really shine through. Because again, like I'm jumping kind of forward a little with this Strengths card here. I'm really seeing that your group, like all of you, are very resilient and you have a lot of inner strength. So it really doesn't make sense for you to be belittling yourselves or feeling insecure about yourselves when you are literally being called to embody the strength energy. And with the Seven of Wands being reversed and the Eight of Swords being reversed, along with this Pride card here, right in the middle of your reading, I do feel like for some of you, maybe you would need some form of help from others. And help is available to you. It might just be that recently, when you first encountered this challenge, you might have wanted to deal with it all by yourself. And that's, again, not necessarily originating from a place of self-love and self-compassion. It might have been originated from a place of feeling insecure or, again, acting prideful because you want to embrace your independence. you want to make sure that you're doing this thing by yourself. You're not depending on other people. And therefore, you might have spent quite some time struggling with this particular challenge or difficulty without realizing that you were placing yourself in that Eight of Swords situation where you created essentially your own mental prison. But it is very easy for you to walk away from this mental prison as long as you stop being stubborn about the way that things are done. And speaking of stubbornness, the Seven of Wands sometimes does give me a really stubborn energy. This is about someone who's not afraid of life's challenges, who's really holding their ground and fighting hard. And that's very brilliant. But at the same time, I am also hearing Spirit is saying that you should choose your battle wisely. And you should choose how to fight your battles wisely. See, here it says, I love myself and I see myself in everyone. This really reminds me of the idea that we're all part of a collective consciousness and there's no real separation. Separation is just an illusion that we experience here on Earth. So there's really not supposed to be that distinction between you and me or them versus us. So I do feel like for some of you, maybe this is about another person that's in your life. And if that's the case, then you are being called to embrace that idea of oneness, to recognize yourselves in other people. In particular, this person that you might be dealing with here. And instead of holding on to your beliefs or your convictions about how things should be done or how this particular person should behave, maybe it is time for you to try and see whether you can empathize with them and see things from a different perspective. And that could be extremely difficult, especially if you are caught in a place where you are feeling a little bit prideful, a little bit defensive. And I'm sure you are acting the way that you are for very good reasons. It's just that with this particular challenge, with this difficulty that you're facing, I do feel like Spirit is calling out to you to try and let go of some of your stubbornness and see things from a new angle. Later in this reading, we will be figuring out why this particular situation is currently being present in your life, so that we can figure out whether there are specific lessons that you are supposed to learn in this process. But I do feel like this might be relevant, like this pride thing might be relevant to a lesson that you need to learn from the situation. And now, with the Nine of Pentacles and Strength coming out together, I feel like this is Spirit saying that you need to focus on yourself, because Nine of Pentacles is about a person enjoying the abundance that they have cultivated for themselves. And here it's like you are in this really, really beautiful garden and you have all of these nice things around you, but perhaps because of the situation at hand, you haven't been able to fully enjoy what you have. And that's why we have this surrender to play here. Take a break from overthinking a goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. I do feel like there is that rejuvenating energy here present in that Nine of Pentacles. It's kind of like, because Nine of Pentacles comes after the Eight of Pentacles. And Eight of Pentacles is all about mastering a certain skill and honing in on a particular craft, trying to work towards some goal. But Nine of Pentacles is really you at a stage where you can enjoy the results. You can enjoy the fruits of your labor. But it is possible that you might not have been able to do that because, or maybe you've been neglecting these fruits, these beautiful flowers around you because you've been overthinking, because you've been so fixated on this other thing. And speaking of overthinking, we do have the Eight of Swords here. And Eight of Swords, when it's in the upright position, again, it's about mental prison. It's about overthinking and trapping yourself in something that your mind has conjured up for yourself. So I do think that with this Nine of Pentacles, you are being called to take more care of yourselves, to show yourself more self-compassion, love, to give yourselves a pat on the back for the hard work that you've done so far. Because I do think you are a really hardworking group of people, and you have been working towards cultivating this life for yourselves and for the ones around you for a very long time, for some of you. And here, with this surrender your desire to control people, again, I do feel like sometimes as human beings, we tend to project our expectations, our desire upon others. And that is, again, an illusory thought, an illusory pattern of behavior resulted from this idea of separation. And here, you might, I do feel like this surrender or desire to control people can be very much relevant to what we were saying earlier with the pride, with the Seven of Wands, with that stubborn energy. If there is indeed another person being present in this situation, you're definitely being called to let go a little bit, let loose a little bit. Instead of trying to control what they're doing, instead of trying to predict what their responses would be, it is time for you to focus on your own garden. And with the Strength card as well, the Strength card in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, if you've seen one, then the imagery for the Strength card is actually this lady taming a lion, but she's using a very gentle approach. She's not using force. And yet she's so powerful. She's so powerful because she's using a very compassionate, very gentle approach. And the lion listens to her. So I do feel like with the Strength card being present here, this is reminding you of taking a more gentle approach, whether that's to yourselves or to other people. You're being reminded to essentially use less force and try to influence with a more subtle approach. So that is what I'm seeing here in terms of what course of actions you could take to address this particular challenge or difficulty that you have in your life. And now I want to find out for you what results you can expect if you were to put these things into action, if you were to act according to these pieces of advice. So Spirit, what results can my dear group number ones expect if they put the advice into action? What results can my group number ones expect if they act according to the advice? So, okay, things might take some time to shift, but here we have the Four of Pentacles. You're definitely being protected from loss by Spirit. And let's see, we have the Warrior of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords in this deck. Okay. And on the back of the deck, I feel like this card did want to come out, so I'm going to place it right here. We have the Ace of Pentacles. So essentially, what Spirit is indicating here is that first off, you are receiving a lot of guidance from your spiritual teams and you're heavily protected by divine powers. And that is usually how I read the Four of Pentacles. I feel like the Four of Pentacles is giving a very stable, a very secure, solid sort of energy. And in this imagery, we see this goddess showcasing her Four Pentacles in her hands. And she's being very open about what she has, and she's very open to sharing. So I do think that the result that you will be getting if you were to put these pieces of advice into action is that you will be very protected. You'll be protected against some form of loss. And at the same time, I'm sensing that it is possible for you to reach some form of agreement with someone. And with the Warrior of Swords here, there seems to be a very swift communication of some sort. Because the Warrior of Swords or the Knight of Swords always reminds me of someone kind of letting all of their thoughts out, being kind of like almost like going overboard with what they want to express. Like they're just really, really straightforward, really to the point, and almost word vomit what they want to say. So if you've been waiting for some form of communications, if you've been waiting to hear back from someone, I do think that is coming for you as well. And with that, I see that an offer of some sort will be coming. I'm hearing a peace offering. So for some of you, if you've been going through some form of conflict, there might be a peace offering. There's an opportunity, there's like a very concrete, solid opportunity being present in the situation here with the Ace of Pentacles. There's a seed that has really great potential for growth in the future. And this also indicates a new journey as well. I feel like perhaps for some of you, this could be potentially about business or investment, or a venture of some kind, a business venture of some kind, a co-owned business with someone else involved. But essentially, the result would be quite positive, as we do have new hopes here with the Ace of Pentacles being present in your reading. So that is really, really beautiful. Let's see here. Yeah, I believe those are all the messages that we have here with these three cards. And oh, yeah, like another thing that really stood out to me when I was watching these cards come out was that, see how the Warrior of Swords, like these animals and this goddess, they're essentially charging towards this Ace of Pentacles. I do think that once things are set in motion, they will move quite fast. When I first started shuffling, it took a hot minute for the Four of Pentacles to come out, which makes sense because the number 4 is a number for stability. And sometimes that could be a slower moving energy. But But then it's like immediately after we got this Knight of Swords energy and then the Ace of Pentacles. So it's like once things are set into motion, they're going to be moving forward quite fast. If you've been struggling with waiting for things to happen, I do feel like your patience will be needed for a while longer, but after that, things will go quite smoothly. Okay, so now that we're done with the results, let's see what you're supposed to learn from the situation. Why is this situation being present in your life? For my group number ones, why is this situation being present in their lives currently? What are they supposed to learn from this particular challenge or difficulty? Okay, we've got two together. And we have the Sun and the Four of Wands. Oh my gosh, wow. Okay. This is quite interesting. I think the Sun, this card reminds me of our inner child or inner children. Because again, if you're familiar with tarot, in the Rider-Waite deck, we see a baby smiling on the Sun card. And with the Four of Wands, this reminds me of family as well. Some sort of familial tradition or some form of family gathering, celebration, unions. So when these two cards come out together, the first thing that came to mind for me is that you are being called to let go of certain issues that might have happened in the past that wounded or traumatized your inner child or your younger selves. So this could potentially be something that's related to your family. And this could be something that happened not necessarily when you were a child, but it could just be something that happened in the past that you're still kind of holding on to, that you still haven't let go of. And yeah, like for some reason, I'm just getting quite heavy family vibes. So perhaps that could be the situation for a lot of you. And another interpretation I have here, if you do not resonate with the family message, then it's that you are meant to learn how to be confident from a very loving place. So real confidence, I was talking about this a little bit earlier, real confidence is coming from a place of being totally secure about ourselves. And when you are truly confident, you're just so comfortable in your skin that you don't have any attitudes, you're naturally going to be acting very humble because you're so comfortable in your own skin. And there's no urge for you to change your behaviors. There's no urge for you to prove yourselves to anyone. And I feel like perhaps in the past, there might have been situations where you felt like you needed to prove yourselves to other people to gain their recognitions, because the Four of Wands can be about celebrations. It can be about recognitions of our achievements. And I feel like here with the Sun card coming out, just think about the planet. Think about the Sun for a moment. The Sun does not discriminate. It gives out its warmth to all of the planets around it. And it doesn't have to prove itself to anyone, because it's literally the center. It is literally the thing that gives life. So I do feel like for some of you, you are being called to embody the energy of the sun, to really step into your own power, to believe in yourselves, to celebrate yourselves, to shower yourselves with a lot of self-love and self-recognition and self-validation instead of trying to seek out those things from external sources. And again, we have more Leo energy here with the Sun card. I can't believe that did not come up to me earlier, but we have both the Strength card and the Sun. So I do feel like perhaps we just have a lot of Leos in this group. If you're a Leo, please do leave a comment down below. And say hi. So yeah, I believe those would be the lessons for you in this particular situation. And now that we're done with the tarot portion of the reading, I do want to shuffle one last oracle deck to get some warm and fuzzy words of encouragement from your spiritual teams. So group 1's spiritual teams, what words of encouragement do you have for my dear group number 1's? What words of encouragement do you have for my dear group number 1's? Let's see. Spirit, what words of encouragement do you have for my dear group number 1's as they go through this challenge, this difficulty? Oops. Let's see what we have here. Okay, we have number 10. Do not settle for less. You are a child of the divine and you deserve to have your dreams come true. Don't give up. Okay, so there is definitely a promise of success. I feel like this might be talking about this great opportunity here with the Ace of Pentacles. It's very beautiful. And number 10 does reduce to 1 in numerology. So new beginning, new journey for my group number 1. And you are group number 1. So there's that too. Okay, what else? We have number 21, open up to your spiritual gifts. Remember that your true nature is spiritual, not physical. The angels are sending you messages to guide your soul's growth. So yes, again, like with that message from the Four of Pentacles as well, I do think that a lot of you might be receiving downloads, messages, information from your spiritual teams. You are heavily protected by divine power. So just know that you are never alone, my dear group number 1's. Let's see what else. Let's get one last card, please. Spirit, can we please get one last card for my dear group number 1's? For my dear group number 1's, can we please get one last card as words of encouragement? Let's see what we've got here. Oops. Okay. And we have another number 1 here. All is in perfect timing. This is it. It's time to take action now. I'll be here to help you every step of the way. Wow, what a great message to end our reading on. And again, I do think perhaps number 1 is a significant number for all of you, my dear group number 1's. If you've been seeing repeating 1s on the clock or just randomly on the street, then that might be your angels, your spiritual teams trying to communicate with you, trying to send you signs. And here with all is in perfect timing, we were talking a little bit about you guys being patient and that patience is needed. And I guess this is saying to you that divine timing is here. If you've been waiting for a long time for something to happen, it is almost here. Like literally it is coming, and I am so excited for all of you. Well, I believe those are all the messages that I have for you today, my dear group number ones. Thank you so much for being here, for watching the video, for listening to this reading, and most importantly, for sharing your energies with me. It's been an incredible honor for me having been able to channel all of these messages for you, and I do hope that the reading turns out to be somewhat helpful. And if it did resonate, please don't forget to leave me a comment down below. If you're comfortable with sharing, you can like this video, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you'll never miss a reading that I upload in the future. Oh, and also, if there's any particular reading topics that you would love to see more of, please leave your suggestions down below in the comment section as well. As always, I'm sending you a lot of love, a lot of well wishes whenever or wherever you are watching. I hope you have the best, most amazing life journey, and I'll catch you again very soon in the next reading. Bye-bye! Hey loves, if you have chosen the Star Spinner Tarot along with this bottle of amethyst, then this is going to be the reading for you. Welcome. So as I mentioned in the intro, we are going to start off with tarot along with some pre-shuffled oracle cards to figure out exactly what you can do to overcome your current challenge or difficulty. So let's just dive right in to see what Spirit has for you today. So for my dear group number twos, what can they do in this current situation to overcome this challenge and your difficulty and to change the situation for the better, please Spirit? All right, we're starting off with Justice. Okay, powerful energies. And we've got some Libra energy coming out with the Justice card. Let's see, what else, Spirit? Okay, we have the Three of Swords coming out in the reverse position. Okay. Let's see, what else? And can we please get one more, Spirit? All right. We have the Two of Wands coming out in reverse. Interesting. Okay. And now I just want to quickly name all the signs that I am seeing for those of us who need that extra layer of confirmations. Again, you don't have to be these signs or have these placements for the reading to resonate. So with Justice, that is Libra energy, as I mentioned. With the Three of Swords, that is more Libra energy. And with the Two of Wands, that's Aries energy. So essentially we have air plus fire. So let's see here. I've pre-shuffled your oracle cards, and we're going to be using these cards to clarify these tarot cards. So first off, we have Glitter. What gift awaits? With Cottonwood. This is to clarify the Justice card. Next up, we have Failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. This is to clarify the Three of Swords in reverse. And last but not least, we have Surrender, Procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. This is to clarify the reversed Two of Wands. So, okay, well, let's just dive right in. I do think that with the Justice card here and what gift awaits, there seems to be a situation that involves a lot of thinking and deliberations. because Justice is a card that reminds me of taking a decision after careful consideration. It's acting from a place without bias. It's taking the course of action that is the most honorable. So here, I feel like you're being called to there's almost like a feeling of the situation somehow being imbalanced, and you're being called to put things in balance again, like to think about things from a very logical place instead of letting your emotions cloud your judgment. That's what I'm seeing here. Perhaps whatever the situation is, I don't want to assume what your challenge or difficulty is. That's not the point of this reading. But I do feel like the situation might have been quite emotionally charged for a lot of you. And because of that, it might have been difficult for you to act from a place without bias. It might have been difficult for you to choose your course of actions based on what your intelligence is telling you, based on your logical thinking, instead of getting carried away or even hijacked by emotions. And it's almost like you were not seeing the gifts. You are not seeing the benefits that could come from the situation. Like with this glitter card, what gift awaits? Clarifying this justice, it's almost like saying, when you really open your eyes and see from a balanced point of view, you would then be able to see that there is actually a gift awaiting. But previously, you were not able to do that because you got too carried away, if that makes sense. And again, with the Justice card, it's Libra energy, and Libra energy gives a very diplomatic sense of balance. It's like you're not just seeing things from your perspective, you're also trying to see things from the other person or the other party's perspective. And that's how you maintain a balance between different parties. And I do feel like with the Justice card here, this is asking you to really take that step back and to allow your emotions to be processed, and then use your mind, use your intelligence, use your thinking to decipher what is going on. And with that, then you would be able to see that the situation might not be as terrible as you made it out to be. Because I do think that there is some form of gift awaiting you. There is some form of reward at the end of this really dark path. And with the Three of Swords in reverse, along with this failure card, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Whatever this challenge or difficulty might be, I could see that some of you, or I would say actually the majority of you, might have been really hurt. Like your feelings were hurt by the situation. But again, this is echoing that previous message coming through with the justice. It is just that Spirit is saying you need to let your emotions be processed. You need to feel that hurt and then let it go. Like, this is not invalidating your feelings of being hurt. This is just saying that everything has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And now it is time for you to allow those feelings to end. Once they are properly processed, you can then let them go. And then that would allow you to open up your mind to different possibilities. That would open up your mind to seeing that actually you've learned things. Actually, you've got something unexpected or something that you're not previously seeing from the situation that might have been quite hurtful for you. And with this failure card here, I really love this message saying that I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Because I very much think that a lot of times we get into almost a toxic addiction to success. Everything is about success. And when we're not succeeding in something, we associate that failure with our values as human beings. We associate failures with our identities. Say, I had a failure in my career, then that would make me less valuable as a human being. And when I say it like that, it doesn't make sense at all. But sometimes when we're in those moments, when we're feeling really down because of certain failures or mishaps, challenges, difficulties, whatever, we could really get into that mindset where we associate our values with these external things when we really should have been able to distinguish that whatever happens externally, those things have nothing to do with who we truly are internally. So with the Three of Swords being in reverse here, I see that Spirit is encouraging you with a lot of love, with a lot of gentleness, that now is time for you to heal from this situation. Now is the time for you to recognize that the past, whatever happened in the past, has happened. There's nothing you can do to change it. It's a fact, but at the same time, perceive it as an opportunity for you to learn. Because when you really think about it, you must have learned something from it. Like, a lot of times we don't recognize that when we are being hijacked by our emotions. But after a while, like sometimes it could be like literally after months or years even, when we look back, then we recognize that, oh, actually, I did go through something that's really, really horrible, but I also learned A, B, C, and D from that really horrible experience. That it doesn't take away from how incredibly hurtful that experience might have been, how incredibly traumatic it might have been. It's just that now might be the time for you to try and shift your perception, because everything is about perception. Everything is about what we make it to be about. And with the Two of Wands in reverse and the surrender procrastination here, I do think that there is a sense of urgency here. There's Spirit is again nudging you to take action, because the Two of Wands can be about, when it's upright, it can be about plans, and when it's reversed, it makes me think of plans that are not necessarily carried out, plans that did not necessarily that did not necessarily give birth to something that's more concrete. So perhaps you might have been in planning phase for a little bit too long. Perhaps you feel like, oh, I'm not ready yet. I still need to plan things out a little bit more. But what Spirit is saying here is that you are ready. You're actually ready to take that next step. You're actually ready to take action. And by staying in that planning phase, you're essentially procrastinating. And perhaps you just need a little bit more courage. Perhaps you need some words of reassurance. And here, Spirit is giving you words of encouragement. Spirit is giving you words of reassurance. Your spiritual team is now coming through to tell you that, hey, my dear group number 2s, with a lot of love, with a lot of gentleness, we all think you're ready. And now is the time for you to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. See here, it says taking action will attract success. If you don't take action, then you can't really implement the lessons you've learned from the previous failure and turn it into a future success. So I do think that's quite a very direct call to action that we have here with the surrender, procrastination, and the 2 of Wands in reverse. No more plans, just actions moving forward, and you're going to be all set. That's what I'm hearing. So let's figure out what results you can expect to achieve if you were to put these pieces of advice into action. Oh, wow. Okay. So 2 cards jumped out really fast. And let's see what we have here. We've got the Wheel of Fortune and we've got the Knight of Coins. That's beautiful energy. Okay, so as I was saying, like, Spirit was literally dropping hints. Spirit was like not even dropping hints. It was like literally a very direct call to action. No hints. It's like very straightforward. No BS at all. So with the Wheel of Fortune or Wheel of Fate here, this is confirmation that luck is on your side, that divine timing is here for you to take action, for you to embark on this new journey. This is a really important turning point in your life. And by implementing these suggestions that Spirit has for you, by implementing this particular course of action, you are essentially fulfilling your divine life blueprint. And you are embracing that good luck. You're embracing that burst of good luck. And next up, I see that something big is in store for you. Universe has something up its sleeves for you. And with the Knight of Coins or Knight of Pentacles, this could be about your career. This could be about something that you have been dedicating your time and effort to, something that you are trying to achieve. Like maybe this is the thing that you've been planning on doing for a while, but you haven't. And now with the Knight of Coins or Knight of Pentacles, this is a very grounded, a very practical, a very driven energy. The Knight of Pentacles shows up. Like they show up every single day being dedicated to their craft. This is a knight that's accountable. This is a knight that's very reliable as well. And I see that being your energy, my dear group number 2s. You're going to be embodying this very grounded, very solid, bulletproof kind of energy as you embark on this journey. And you will be cultivating a beautiful garden for yourselves. Look at these flowers. It's like you are planting the seeds and you will be watering all of these flowers. Like, you're going to be spending a lot of your time and energy doing this thing, but you're also guaranteed that you're heading towards the right direction and eventually you will get great results. And again, this is in alignment with what the universe wants for you as well. And I do think that for a lot of you, like within yourselves, you might have already sensed that this is something that your soul truly wants as well. And that is really, really beautiful. Wow. Okay, we've got some really, really encouraging messages here. I love that for you, my dear group number 2s. And then I also wanted to find out about why this particular situation is being present in your life. Like, why do you have to go through this challenge or difficulty? What are you meant to learn from this? So, what are my group number 2s meant to learn from this particular difficulty? Okay, we have the King of Wands coming out in the reverse position. Let's take one more. What are my dear group number 2s meant to learn? And we have the Sun. Oh, wow. The Sun card actually came out in group number 1's reading as well. It's also a lesson that they're supposed to learn, which is interesting. I don't know if you were drawn to group number 1 as well, or if you're coming from group number 1. If so, hello. Well, so with the King of Wands and the Sun here, we've got a lot of fiery energy. And I feel like there's a message here about you following your passion or following your heart. So I think that this particular situation happened in your life so that you can learn to follow your passion and take inspired actions to pursue your dreams. That is something that's immediately standing out to me with the King of Wands and the Sun. And the fact that the King of Wands is coming out in the reverse position, this is making me think that perhaps there's also a lesson for you in the situation where you're being called to let go of your control a little bit. You might have thought that you needed a lot more preparation. You might have felt like you needed more time, more experience to really embody that King of Wands kind of energy. You might have felt that, oh, like, I'm not ready yet. I still need more time. I don't have enough qualifications. But actually, the thing is, you don't have to be 100%, like, no one's ever 100% ready. I feel like 9 out of 10 times when someone succeed in doing something, if you ask them afterwards when they first started out, I don't think they were prepared to handle any unexpected situations. A lot of times we are actually just encouraged to learn as we go. Like, we don't have to all be masters before we start. An example that I can give is that, well, recently I've started going through a yoga teacher training course. And what I witnessed during this course was that a lot of my classmates were really hesitant to test out their teaching capabilities. But they're all really, really great at doing the poses themselves. It's just that they're really hesitant to actually go up stage and lead a short practice. And when I asked them, they would then say that, oh, like I don't have any experience in teaching, so I don't think I can lead the practice. But then if you don't practice, how are you going to get any experience? How can you be a master yoga teacher if you never give yourself the chance to teach, right? That doesn't make sense. And I feel like with the King of Wands being reversed here, like the lesson here is really, you do not, like when you start off your journey, you don't have to be the king to start. Actually, most people do not start as kings, right? Like you start out as, like in tarot, you start out as a page and then you move on to knight and then you have queen and then you have king. So that's how the energies shift and evolve. And even like kings in real lives, they start out as being a prince and then they move on to be kings. Usually they would not be wearing a crown the first day they were born, right? So I do think that there is that message about you worrying a little bit too much or you trying to over prepare or over plan. And there's no need for that, because by doing that, you're essentially doing yourselves a disservice. And with the sun here, like I'm really feeling that sense of carefree energy, that sense of just being unapologetically yourselves and pursuing what you want. Like this imagery of this goddess flying, she looks so free. And she looks like she's like after something that she really wants as well. At least it comes off that way to me. So I do feel like that's a lesson for a lot of you as well. And it is really, really beautiful. Now that we have concluded the tarot part of your reading, before we go, I am going to shuffle another oracle deck to see if spirit can come in and give you some really warm and fuzzy words of encouragement, because I do think that we all need that, especially when we're going through a difficult period of time or a particularly hard challenge. So let's see, group 2 spiritual team. What words of encouragement do you have for my dear group number 2s here? What words of encouragement do you have for my dear group number 2s? Let's see. Okay, we have the number 43. Your vibration is rising. This is a time of great spiritual growth for you. You are evolving to occupy a higher energetic frequency. Yeah, that does tend to happen, especially when you go through some form of heartbreak, when you go through some form of particularly difficult challenges. That is also an opportunity for you to really work on your spiritual growth and your personal growth. Growth sometimes does have to happen when it's painful. It's unfortunate, but at least we can get that out of a painful experience. So there's that. And we have number 31 with take control of your thoughts. Your thoughts are creating your reality. Have faith and stay focused on the outcome that you truly desire. Okay, so with this take control of your thoughts, I do think that your spiritual teams are reminding you again that perhaps previously your thoughts were a little bit scattered, you were a little bit carried away, and therefore your thoughts were not focused. And now it's a time for you to kind of get a clearer head and to really get a clear sense of judgment. Your thoughts manifest into your reality. So it is really important for you to make sure that you're not getting carried away by negative thoughts. You're not getting into any sort of negative thinking pattern. And if you are, then it is time for you to stop that, to really just put a hard stop on that. A lot of times meditation and breath work can help us quiet down our minds as well. So if you do feel like you're in need of a little bit of that, then definitely look up some good meditation, look up some breath work that you can practice. I think those things might be helpful for you as well, my dear group number 2s. And let's see, can we please get one more, Spirit? Let's get one more for my dear group number 2s. Let's see what we've got here. Ooh. We have trust your angels with number 36, and number 26 was recognize the signs from above. They came out together. I do think they're talking about the same thing. So we have let go of your expectations of how your dreams will come true. Trust that heaven has a perfect plan. And angels are sending you messages now, but you're too distracted to notice. Stay alert and open to divine guidance. Okay, so I do think those messages are fairly straightforward. And with let go of your expectations of how your dreams will come true, I do feel like this is also kind of reiterating on the surrender your procrastination message. It's like maybe you had a certain expectation of how things are supposed to work out, and that's why you were not taking actions. And here you're really being called to trust your angels, trust your spiritual teams, that the universe has your back. You just go ahead, the universe has your back. You go ahead and jump, and the universe will catch you. Yeah, I love these encouraging messages. They always make me feel so good, even as I am channeling the energy. This is really, really beautiful. So I believe those are all the messages that I have for you today, my dear group number 2s. Thank you so much for being here, for watching this video, for listening to the reading, and most importantly, for sharing your energies with me. It's been an incredible honor for me having been able to channel all of these messages for you. And I do hope that the reading turned out to be helpful for you in some way, shape, or form. If it did resonate for you, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you'll never miss a reading that I upload in the future. And please, if you do feel comfortable sharing, maybe leave a comment down below. I would really love to see your comments. And if you do have any particular reading topics that you would love to see more of on this channel, please leave your suggestions down below in the comment section as well. I'm sending you so much love and well wishes. I hope you have a fantastic life journey whenever or wherever you're watching. And I hope to catch you again very, very soon in the next reading. Bye-bye! Hey loves, if you have chosen the Modern Witch Tarot along with this bottle of Blue Apatite, then this is going to be the reading for you. Welcome. So as I mentioned in the intro, we're gonna dive right in with your tarot deck along with some pre-shuffled oracle cards to figure out exactly what actions you could take to overcome this particular challenge or difficulty that you have in mind and change the situations for the better. So let's just dive right in here. And we have our first card jumping out. We have the 5 of Swords coming out in the upright. Let's see what else, Spirit. What can my dear group number 3s do to overcome this challenge or difficulty? We have the Death card. Okay, we've got some powerful energy here. And let's get another one. Let's see, what else, Spirit? What can my dear group number 3s do to overcome this challenge and or difficulty? And we have the Queen of Swords. Okay, so we've got some air energies coming out. As always, I'm just going to be naming all the signs that are standing out to me. You can take this as an extra layer of confirmation as needed. So with the Five of Swords here, I believe we have some Aquarius energies here. With the Death card, this is associated with the sign of Scorpio. And with the Queen of Swords, I don't necessarily associate the Queen of Swords with any particular air signs. I just feel like this is air energy overall. So you can be an Aquarius, a Libra, or a Gemini, or you could have those placements, or someone else important in the situation might have those signs or those placements in their charts. So those are the signs that I am seeing. Now let's get into your oracle cards. So first off, clarifying the Five of Swords, we have the Sun. Wow, okay, that's beautiful. And for the Death card here, we have relationships. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. And last but not least, with the Queen of Swords, we have surrender to prayer. Give yourself over completely to prayer. When you pray from your heart, you'll be heard throughout the universe, and the answers and support will arrive. Okay, very interesting. Now let's just dive right in with the advice for you, my dear group number 3s. So with the air energies being present here, I feel like the advice for you has a lot to do with the way you think about the situation, like how you approach this particular challenge or difficulty with your thoughts and your logical mind. And with the Five of Swords coming out in the upright here, I do feel like this could involve another person or multiple other people, because we do have this person here holding the swords, and then we have two other people here having their backs turned. So with the Five of Swords, this can talk about conflict with other people. This could talk about some sort of dissonance that happens within certain connections or relationships of ours. So I feel like with the Five of Swords being in the upright, you might be called to really hold your ground, because there might be, so a lot of times when we talk about conflicts, we might feel like, oh, that's unhealthy, or conflicts are to be avoided. But sometimes it is actually healthier to let the conflicts come out instead of holding everything in. I do feel like here you might feel like someone is acting selfishly in the situation, or even maybe some of you might feel like you are the one acting selfishly. But here is a reassurance coming from Spirit that I'm picking up on. It's just that sometimes it is natural for people to have different point of views. And it is only natural for people to express those different points of views. So I'm hearing that there's really nothing you can do but to let the conflicts run their course. So instead of trying to brush things under the carpet, trying to, I guess, de-escalate the situation, You might actually be called to do the opposite. I'm not saying that you are supposed to escalate. Or, wait, actually, maybe you are supposed to escalate the situation. Because, okay, so here's an example, but this might be a little bit extreme, right? So let's say like you are in a workplace and you notice that a colleague of yours is making fun of another colleague because they dress differently or they have a different cultural background or maybe they speak a different language. Just something that makes them stand out in the crowd, right? And then you notice that there's someone making kind of like not so nice, jokey comments about their differences. I feel like this is the situation where if you have approached your colleague and try to talk to them and they're making light of the situation and instead saying that, oh, you're being oversensitive, but actually they are behaving aggressively or they are behaving in a discriminatory way towards another person, then this is exactly a situation where you're supposed to escalate and you're supposed to expose them. And with the sun card here, the sun can be about letting things out into the light and even potentially exposing something, exposing someone. So that could very well be a recommended course of action for some of you if the situation is applicable. Obviously, it won't be applicable to all of you, but I do feel like there is a message about you letting something out into the light, you shedding light on something, like you drawing attention to something that might not be very pleasant, but something that needs attention, something that needs to be properly addressed. And without you potentially raising this conflict, it's just gonna, again, get brushed under the carpet. It's gonna get brushed off. And in the long run, that's actually gonna come back and essentially bite people in their ass. So I do feel like there's that message about essentially not shying away from conflicts, but almost embracing it if it is necessary. I'm not saying that you're gonna be like picking a fight with someone. I'm just saying if there is a situation where you feel like it is well deserved for someone to be called out on their action, then you should. That's something that spirit is saying that you should do that. And another thing is that if there is some form of conflict that you are already involved in, with this Sun card here, clarifying the Five of Swords, I do think that you're being called to re-examine the situation and really think about where you're coming from versus where the other people are coming from in the situation. Like whether your intentions are honorable, whether your intentions are from a standpoint of love and light. Because with this Sun card here, like I'm getting a lot of really warm and really light energies. And I do feel like you're being called to embrace this type of energies, even when you are in a conflict or in a disagreement with someone. So it is very possible that this could be a healthy disagreement without necessarily having to hurt anybody's feelings if everyone is behaving in a way that's coming from love and light. And with the Death card here and the relationships, clarifying the Death card, I do see that there's gonna be a very deep, a very impactful transformation that is happening within a connection that you are experiencing in your life. Again, I do feel like I'm not gonna assume what your challenge or your difficulty is, but I do feel like this could very much involve other people. And with the Death card here, I am seeing some letting go of old energies and welcoming in new energies. So this might be a little bit harsh for some of you, but perhaps for certain connections in your lives, they might no longer be serving your highest and best good. And if that's the case, if you felt that way for a very long time, because I do think that when that happens, you yourself would be the one who knows best. You yourself would be the one who knows exactly what's going on. So I do think that it is very possible that some of your connections, some of your relationships in your life, at least at this stage in your life, they're no longer serving your highest and best good. And it is time for you to let those connections, let those relationships go. Instead of holding on to something or someone that's not serving you, you're being called to embrace this transformation and really elevate yourself to, I'm hearing a bigger platform in some way. So we have to let go of the old to welcome in the new. This is a process. This is almost like a cleansing process where as you let go of the old energies, you're also creating space in your life to welcoming in new energies. Here it says, I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. When you're no longer surrounded by people who are not serving you, when you're no longer tied down by connections or relationships that are dragging you down, then you'll have more space, more time, more energy in your life so that you can dedicate yourself to new connections, new relationships with people who serve your higher good. So that's what I'm seeing here with the Death card. And some of you might already have been in this process. It's just that Spirit is reminding you that this process does not have to be painful, because a lot of times when we see the Death card, some of us might get a little bit scared. Some of us might feel a little bit uneasy with the Death card. But I personally really likes it when the Death card is present in my own readings, because I know that these deep transformations, they are meant to be there for us in our lives so that we can get growth, so that we can get expansion, so that we can get growth, like learning opportunities. If we don't embrace this stage, if we hold on to the old energies, we're just gonna unnecessarily drag the process even longer and create more pain and suffering for ourselves. So that is what I'm seeing here with the Death card and the relationships here, clarifying the Death card. And with the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Swords reminds me of someone who is very level-headed. This card reminds me of someone who knows exactly what they want and has really high standards for other people as well as for themselves. They're not fake people. They're very authentic in their standards, because it's not like they're only asking other people to adhere to their standards. They're also asking themselves. They're also making sure that they themselves are adhering to their own standards. So I do think that the Queen of Swords reminds us that we need to make sure that our standards, our courses of actions, the way that we carry ourselves and the way we behave towards other people, making sure that we are acting from a place of fairness, from a place of justice. In a way, the Queen of Swords is a card that reminds me of the Justice card, because in the Justice card, usually you would see a goddess holding a sword as well. So here, I do think that with the Queen of Swords, you are being called to, again, just think clearly and making sure that you are not being overwhelmed by certain emotions that could have that could have been a little bit troubling or a little bit overwhelming, especially as you're going through this death and rebirth process. And with the Queen of Swords, I do see that if there is a conflict, if there is some form of disagreement in your life, you are being called to deal with it in a very swift manner. The Queen of Swords has a very direct and no BS sort of energy. She deals with things very smoothly. She deals with things very swiftly because she knows exactly what she's trying to achieve, and she's determined to make sure that she follow her intelligence, that she follows her thought process. So once you have decided what you're going to do, you are being called to take swift actions as well. And again, this is you taking actions from a place where you feel a sense of fairness and a sense of balance. Like, you're not using any sort of double standards. You're not being inauthentic about your thoughts. You're just gonna appear in the situation in your most authentic self and making sure that, again, you are acting from a place of love and light. And as you do that, I see that with the surrender to prayer, that you are actually being guided by spirit. You are being protected by your spiritual team, and you are going to receive a lot of help from either people in your 3D world or your spiritual team in the 5D. Or at the same time, like, you're just gonna be receiving a lot of help and support from your community overall. So with that, you don't have to worry. You're not alone on this journey, and you do not have to worry about what's going to happen if I speak my mind, what's going to happen if I raise my hand and stand out. There's nothing for you to worry about because there is help and support all around you. And there might be a message for some of you that if you have been feeling a little bit overburdened, if you have been feeling a little bit overwhelmed, it is entirely okay for you to ask for help and support from people that you trust. A lot of times, we might be a little bit fixated on the idea of being hyper independent. We might be hesitant to ask for help and support from those around us because we don't want to burden other people. We don't want to create trouble for other people. But know that for those who really care about you, for those people who are willing to lend their hands to you, it is really no trouble at all. Like, they are just open to sharing their energies with you, and they care about you, and what they really, really hope to achieve is for you to be okay. Like, they just want you to be okay in your situation, and they are entirely fine with lending you a hand, especially when you need it. So, with the surrender to prayer here, I do see that Spirit is giving that reassurance to you. If you do need to reach out to someone, then it is time for you to reach out as well. So yeah, I think those are all the messages that I am seeing here in terms of what you are being advised to do. And now I want to figure out what results you can expect if you were to put these pieces of advice into action. So let's see. We have the Empress. Okay, I see you manifesting abundance and good fortune into your life effortlessly. I see you attracting good energies into your life. And let's get another card here, please, Spirit. What can my group number 3s expect if they take these advice and put them into action? Let's see. Oops. Wow, okay. We got another card that dropped onto the floor, which is the Queen of Wands. This is very beautiful energy. Not gonna lie here, like wow, like I just love it when the Queen of Wands came out next to the Empress. So I see, okay, I'm not sure how this is relevant, but I see a lot of you going through a physical glow up. Or it could be a spiritual thing as well. I guess it's just a glow up in general. Like I see a lot of you going through a period of time where you're really, really feeling yourselves, where you're really giving out that love and light and being super attractive to people around you. Like people would be attracted to you for your beauty, for your inner beauty, for your strength. It's like you're just gonna act like this magnet that attracts good things to you. And that is very, very beautiful. It's brilliant energies. And again, with the Empress, this is all about enjoying the material wealth, enjoying the finer things in life. And just look at how regal she looks. It's so, I'm really feeling like for a lot of you, this is going to lead to a period of time in your life where you're just gonna be really happy and content with your surroundings, with what you have in your life. And you're gonna be acting from a place of confidence with a lot of self-love and a lot of self-compassion. The Queen of Wands always reminds me of someone who's a little bit of a social butterfly, who's very radiant, who is full of laughter and jokes, and really attracts people's attention, and in a very good way as well. So I do see that if there has been a conflict in your life, if there's been some form of disagreement, those things will be dealt with pretty smoothly. You will move into a period of time where you are feeling really good about yourselves, and you will just be really giving off a lot of light. You will be shining your light in front of others. And you're going to feel very comfortable in your own skin. And that is very important. Because a lot of times when we are disconnected with our physical body, we could literally feel pressure, anxiety, just all of those difficult feelings kind of being stored in our physical body. But I do see that you're releasing all of those. You're releasing all of those difficult feelings, and you are embracing your radiant selves. And that is very, very beautiful. Whatever the situation is, you will emerge victoriously, because the Queen of Wands reminds me of someone relishing in their achievement and their victory. So that's what I'm seeing here. It is very beautiful. I love this result for all of you, my dear group number 3s. And now let's figure out why the situation is being present in your life, what you're supposed to learn from this situation. Please, Spirit. What are my group number 3s supposed to learn from this particular challenge or difficulty? Okay, we have the Knight of Swords. I'm hearing speak your minds. Oops. And we have the the High Priestess. Whoa, okay. I love that we have the two most powerful feminine archetypes in tarot being present in your reading. We have the Empress, and now we have the High Priestess. So I do think that one thing you're supposed to learn here is to speak your mind and make sure that no one can stop you from embodying your authentic self, making sure that once you set your goal, once you set your mind to do something, you charge towards it, you keep that target in your mind, and just let go of your doubt, let go of other people's opinions. With the Knight of Swords coming out, I do feel like this is, like the Knight of Swords, this is someone who's very direct, who's very goal-oriented, and who's very determined to achieve what they've set out to achieve. So I do think that you are being called to learn from this situation, to embody this type of energies. And at the same time, this is not to say that you should act without any sort of plans, or that you should do things without thinking through them clearly. Because with the High Priestess here, this is a much slower moving energy compared to the Knight of Swords, which is a lot more, which is a lot more fast moving and almost kind of in a rush. The High Priestess is someone who stays quiet, but also stays very much in tune with her own intuition. The High Priestess literally knows everything. She sees things before they even come. And I feel like you are supposed to learn in this situation to trust your inner guidance, to trust your intuition more. Because I do think for many of you, you might have received certain messages and downloads from Spirit, but you kind of maybe didn't believe in your own psychic abilities. Maybe you brush things off. You kind of dismissed the signs that you've been receiving and thought that they were just a coincidence. But for a lot of you, I do think that when you see a sign, you probably know. You might just not trust yourselves 100%. Sometimes that's a little bit more difficult to do, especially when you're not seeing any sort of significant 3D proof for the things that you see coming. But here with the High Priestess, I do think this is Spirit affirming that your intuition is very sharp, it's always on point, and it's always going to lead you to the right place. So for a lot of you, my dear group number 3s, your lesson here is to trust your intuition and your inner guidance more, to embody the energy of the High Priestess more. You already have what it takes to achieve your goals within you. You just need to tap into your inner source, your inner strength, and your inner guidance a little bit more before you embark on that journey as this Knight of Swords who is very determined to reach their target. So those are the lessons that I am seeing here for you, my dear group number 3s. Now, before we wrap up this reading, I did want to shuffle one last oracle deck to see if your spiritual team has any words of encouragement, words of affirmation for you. So let's see, Spirit, for my dear group number 3s, can we get some words of encouragement for them as they go through this particular challenge or difficulty? Let's see. We have number 40, you're ready for more. Your career is growing and blossoming. Now is the time to make the changes you have been contemplating. Okay, definitely you are ready for more, because we were talking about you entering into a period of your life where there's a lot of abundance, where there's a lot of good things being attracted to you with the Empress energy. So this is Spirit affirming that message. You are ready for more, whether that's just in your career or in other aspects of your life. And it is time for you to take actions without worrying too much. Now let's see what else, Spirit. For my dear group number 3s, can we get some more words of encouragement for my dear group number 3s? Words of encouragement for my dear group number 3s. Oh, this card dropped onto the floor, and we have number 36. Trust your angels. Let go of your expectations of how your dreams will come true. Trust that heaven has a perfect plan. Okay, I do feel like this is reiterating that message coming through with the High Priestess. I do believe that a lot of you already have a very well-established connection with your spiritual teams. You just need to kind of listen inward a little bit more and really trust your gut. When your intuition is saying something to you, and as you pick up that message, try to make sure that you stick with it for a little while. Try to make sure you sit with it for a little while when you have those kind of inklings. That will help you build more trust as you go as well. And I see that maybe some of you also have had some pre-established expectations for how things should go or how other people should behave in your life. And you're being called to let go of those expectations, to let things unfold naturally as well. Let's get one more. Let's see. Can we please get one more, Spirit, for my dear group number 3s? Oops. Ooh. Here we have number 42, your prayers are being answered. And earlier we had surrender to prayer. Look at that. And now your prayers are being answered. Your prayers are being received by the divine. Answers will come soon, although perhaps in forms you didn't expect. Okay, so here's another message about something coming in a way that you're not expecting, something coming true that's outside of your expectations. So just keep your minds open. Keep that open mind and making sure that you're not too fixated on one particular thing. And I do think that Spirit is saying here, whatever you are wishing will be coming true for you very, very soon. With this, your prayers are being answered. They are coming for you very soon, my dear group member 3s. This is really exciting. Wow, what a nice message to end this reading on. And I do believe those are all the messages that I have for you today, my dear group number 3s. Thank you so much for being here, for watching the video, for listening to this reading, and most importantly, for sharing your energies with me. I feel so incredibly honored for having been able to channel all of these messages for you And I do hope that the reading turned out to be helpful in some way, shape, or form for you. If you did resonate with the reading, please don't forget to leave me a like, subscribe to the channel so that you'll never miss a reading that I upload in the future. And please, if you do feel comfortable sharing, I would really love to see your comment down below. If you have any additional reading topics that you would love to see more of on this channel, please leave your suggestions down below in the comment section as well. I am sending you a lot of love, a lot of well wishes whenever, wherever you are watching in the world. And I hope you have the best, the most fantastic life journey. And I will catch you very, very soon in the next reading. Bye-bye!